In India, you actually have buildings inland that predate the Mesopotamian cultures, cities, technologies, all of it. Now,
we are told that Mesopotamia, that's where the first civilizations, sprung up.
If you're going on the Smithsonian's planted theory that Christianity is the only way and anything anti-Christian, now I have no problem with Christianity myself, especially the way that it's practiced peacefully nowadays. But there was once upon a time, it wasn't such a peaceful religion. The religion of peace, love, sharing, and caring was looting, sacking, burning, and destroying cultures all over the place.
Well, you don't. But
yeah. Needless to say, India actually has cities that we can look at that are on the ground, inland, that are clearly over 10,000 years old. Now, even most of the Cyclopean structures that we have in modern day that we've found, should I say, around the Ural Mountains, and the large structures near the Denisova caves, those we can look at, but you can't carbon date stone. We can find artifacts around them, but how do we know that those artifacts weren't put there by somebody later on down the road? How do we know those structures weren't not being used for 100 years and some people settled there for a little while, started a couple fires, hunted a few animals, and then went on down the road? Yeah. Now we see bones from 10,000 years ago outside. We can't just assume that those were from the original people that built it, right? And this is the part that bothers me. With the Mesopotamia theory, they have this ideation that if people in one area in the world were living as cavemen, people in other areas of the world could not be living in cities. And I mean, we can look at culture to this day and tell that's not true. Okay. No. Just because there were people living primitively, throwing spears at animals in this area, doesn't mean that this area doesn't have people with domesticated horses, bows, and arrows. We know this.
Yeah, like look at China and look at the West, like 2,000 years ago. They were way ahead of us. We were indeed still hunter-gatherers, and they already had, I'm not sure if this is entirely correct, but they already had gunpowder and all those things. And, they were far ahead of us, but
we know that in Egypt, or in between Egypt and Iraq, there were found several what they looked like to be primitive batteries. They were ceramic canister jars, rolled tin or copper, basically a makeshift rubber stoppers in the top of them, and they found citrus juice residues inside them. Now, what else would they be functioning as? Other than batteries? What are you going to do with that other than create an electrical current? It may have shown magnetic properties also, and it may have fascinated somebody, but who's going to put that together? It was put together for a purpose. There were many of them found.
Oh, for sure. Like you don't put something together that intricate with that many metals and detail for shits and giggles. Like, hey, look what I made. What's it for? I don't know.
Yeah, right. Like if somebody puts together a wheel, they know what it's for.